Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Convo Corner, where the people are given a platform to speak their mind, what troubles them, and to seek solutions to their questions. I am your Abalidia. Today, we are going to discuss a topic that is very important and also affecting millions of people around the world. And this is GBV, or gender-based violence. In today's video, we are going to look at the forms of GBV. We are also going to look at what GBV is, the effects of GBV, and in case somebody has gone through GBV, where can they find help? And to help me delve into this topic is my guest. And without further ado, I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello guys, I'm Victorious.
Victorious, karibu sana.
Asante.
So as I've said that today we are going to talk about GBV, and GBV is an abbreviation for gender-based violence. So let us look at what is gender-based violence. Gender-based violence is any form of violence that is directed against a person based on their gender identity or gender. Yeah. So gender-based violence doesn't mean like it is like violence against women as people take it, because even men do experience gender-based violence. Yeah. So it is any kind of violence directed to a person, like maybe whichever gender he or she, maybe it's a he or a she. So it's violence. So and we have forms of gender-based violence. So maybe Vicky, you can take us through the first form of gender-based violence.
The first form for me is sexual violence. In sexual violence, you can be either raped, someone can sleep with you without their consent, such things, assault, sodomy, such things fall under sexual violence.
So like you said about rape, rape happens to somebody who is an adult but forcefully, forcefully having sexual intercourse with them. And sodomy affects mostly boys. Yes. And defilement is having sex with a minor without their consent. Yes, so this falls under sexual abuse. So there's also physical abuse. Physical abuse can be like in form of maybe this person beating you up, So physical abuse also can be either way. Can be it may be a man beating a woman, or vice versa, or even like inflicting that to a child. Because when you beat a child and you severely injure them, that cannot be termed as maybe correcting them. It is physical violence. It's like in the olden days, when you used to go to school, we used to be caned. But there are teachers who used this caning very forcefully, even injuring children. You could hear that somebody was caned till they were admitted in hospital.
Sure.
You see? So that one is physical violence. So even in the homes you find that there are those men who beat up their wives. Maybe you find maybe somebody who is your neighbor. Yesterday you were with her, like she was just okay, but in the morning she has a red eye, in the morning she has bruises, or even vice versa. Even men nowadays, they're being beaten. They're being beaten up. So physical violence is also a form of gender-based violence.
Also, there is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse can come in a way of maybe someone harasses you,
Yes.
or insults you, or uses words that will inflict your emotions. So maybe someone is threats. I think so that is also emotional abuse, which normally in today's world, I think so it not only happens to women, although women is the larger
Population
percentage that is really affected, but also the men, they are also affected, because people these days, they say anything. And not only even saying anything, there are people who are emotional, they are abused emotionally, even in their relationships, in their marriages, in their families. It does happen.
And emotional abuse, people don't take it seriously. You're like, maybe it's a husband who is abusing you, or it's a boyfriend who is abusing you, or it's even your mother or your dad. Anybody can abuse you emotionally, but we don't take it seriously. But emotional abuse can affect somebody very much, can make somebody to have low self-esteem, depending on what you're telling this person is, or what you're abusing them. Because you can, maybe maybe you can be just like abusing somebody because of their physical appearance, and at times that person can do nothing about their physical appearance, and it tortures him or her psychologically. Over time, this person sees themselves as inferior because of the emotional abuse they've been going through. Yeah. So also, another form of gender-based violence, we have traditional practices. Yeah. Okay, it affects to a larger percentage kind of girls, because mostly we have female genital mutilation, and female genital mutilation affects the girl child very much, because there are some communities, once this girl undergoes FGM, then they are married off, at a very early age. So this person is supposed to act mature, whereas they're still children. See? So, and also another thing is, like I've said, marrying off young people. By saying young, they're not adults. Definitely, somebody who is under the age of 18 is still a child. That is, as according to the definition of, our country, you are a child until you attain 18, then you get your ID, then you become an adult. But below that, you're a child. And there are those people who marry off children as young as 12 years, as young as 14 years, as young as, even 17, you're still a child. So, like, those traditional practices also, they are forms of GBV.
There's also economical violence, where one is deprived of their basic needs, and also of their finances.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can find you're staying with someone.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not biological to you. Maybe they're not your biological parents or something. Maybe they're your relative. But sometimes they deprive of some things to you. That is economical abuse. Or you're staying with your husband, and when you get paid, he doesn't want you to benefit yourself with your money, or he says, "Oh, you have to do this," or he withdraws his
support.
His support in the family. So that is also economical abuse.
It's true. And also, like, talking of men taking their wives' salaries, even this vice versa. You can find there are those women who, they know, my husband get paid on first. And then first things first, in the evening when you come, you bring your payslip and you bring your salary, you put it on the table. So it's the wife who manages these finances. So in real sense, this man is deprived of, there's nothing you can do, because you have to rely on this person for you to do your 1, 2, 3. Same as, and people don't take it as economical like abuse. There are men who like telling their wife, yes, I'm qualified, yes, I have a master's, I have a PhD, I can work in organizations, I can work for the government, maybe I can be a teacher, doctor, lawyer, name them. But I get married, and then this person wants me to stay at home. It's not like we've sat down and agreed that, okay, now because you're starting a family, I'm going to stay at home to take care of the family. No. Now it is the husband who's like, now I married you. You have to stay at home for you to take care of the kids. So you see, and this person tells you like that, and maybe they can't like provide all your needs, for all your needs. So also that one is economical abuse. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like we've tackled like all of them for the forms of gender-based violence. Now I want us to see gender-based violence definitely has effects on the victim. No? Mm-hmm. So we want us to look at what are some of these effects on the victim. Somebody who has gone through GBV, what can happen to them? So that is what we're going to look at today. Now, can you tell us, or you can give us one of the effects of gender-based violence?
Fear and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
When maybe you've been assaulted, or maybe you've gone through like the financial abuse, and maybe it triggers, let's say for financial abuse, and then it triggers maybe divorce. It will be very hard for you to get married again, because it will bring the mentality of all men are the same, or all women are the same. So sometimes it brings fear. Maybe you've ever been assaulted, that's maybe for a girl, you might fear men. Even being in one room with the opposite gender might really give you a lot of anxiety, even for the boys too. So it really brings about a lot of fear and anxiety.
Yeah. In the same way, is like you said, if somebody goes through maybe rape, yeah, they may not be able to have healthier relationships thereafter, because they're still thinking of, even if they'll just fear maybe like even getting married, because they'll be like, hey, is this what people go through? But it is not necessarily the case, but because they went through it, they'll just think that, hey, maybe I'm not for marriage, because if this is what a man can do to me, then it seems like even that man that maybe I'll get married to will do the same to me. So was that one of rape or defilement? It takes a long time before it takes a lot, it takes a lot of effort for someone to recover, because they have to go through counseling. They'll need to have a supportive, like a family, someone who will be there as in with them through that journey, because it's not an easy one. Yes. So also there's physical injuries. As you said, we've also seen even in televisions that a man hacked his wife, or a man chopped off the hand of the wife, or a woman chopped off, maybe private parts of the husband because they were found cheating. Some of those injuries, they might be permanent. They might be permanent scars. Because if somebody chops off your hand, what happens? Then you'll never have that hand. Then you'll just be thinking of that experience, and it will be there, forever. Or if, the manhood is mutilated, that's a lifetime, it's traumatizing. And GBV causes physical injuries that can affect somebody like throughout their lives.
Another effect is social isolation. If you've ever gone through any sort of violence, you may sought comfort when you're alone. So that means cutting off the outside world, cutting off, when you have maybe the stress and anxiety, you just feel like you want to be alone. So slowly by slowly you become social isolated. You don't want to attend events, maybe you don't want to, mingle with people. So it brings a lot of social isolation, because you might feel like the comfort I need is the comfort when I'm alone, because maybe you feel like you cannot harm yourself, or maybe when you are just alone, nothing can happen.
And also, the GBV can also bring about like somebody being into drugs or even alcohol, because they just want to forget the pain they are going through, or the incident maybe they are going through. For example, it is a husband who is battered by the wife. Then definitely society looks at you like, how dare you? You are a man. How can you be, like how can your wife, batter you or beat you up, So this man, because of the shame, can result to drug abuse, or even, including excessive alcohol intake, because of what that person is going through. And also, when GBV is towards men, the society does not take it lightly. Kwanza, if you are a grown-up man, wacha tu ati kama wewe ni mtoto, maybe umekuwa sodomized or something. So kama wewe, for example, you are a grown-up and then you are battered or physically hurt by your wife. Sometimes back even, people used to fear to go and report that even to the, to the authorities like the police. Because the police are like, you are a man, how dare you? How can your wife
First
beat
of
you
all,
up?
before they even help you, they abuse you.
Yeah. Okay, but I think situations have changed nowadays, because they have those gender desks. So where when you're maybe assaulted physically by your wife or your husband, you can go and do what? You can go and get help, because the person who is there is fully trying to understand what GBV is all about, But in the olden days, I guess, men shied away from talking it out if they went through that, because of how society perceives men as masculine. Yes.
Another effect is financial difficulties. If you went through financial abuse, you can go through financial difficulties and financial crises. Because sometimes maybe you went into debt without maybe your partner knowing, or whoever you are who put you through financial abuse, bila yeye kujua. So maybe you went into debt, so maybe you're bankrupt right now, or maybe at times you don't even have money to even cater for your needs. So you will go through financial difficulties.
And there are those people who mostly men. They deprive people of their needs financially, or you get somebody giving you just mega, like something so small. Maybe this person knows like the budget for your household goes for 1,000 shillings, and maybe you are not working, and they give you like 500 shillings. So you always have a deficit. So you will always have a deficit, and as you said, you can go even into debt, because what is this person is giving you cannot sustain you, And also, men do this so that you can rely on them. So you want salt, you give me money. You want anything, give me money. You want anything, give me money. And also, you cannot even grow yourself properly, because this person gives you so little money, you don't even have money to take care of yourself. So men mostly have this tactic, so that the women or their, I don't know, wives can depend fully. I don't know if when they think somebody depends fully on you, if you have deprived them of maybe working, and getting their own money. They think maybe they are over you or something, or they want to show you they're the ones in power. I really don't understand, because personally I think if you are a husband, then you have your wife, then you let your wife go work. They at least, get their own money. They can do their own stuff. I can go plait my hair. I can do stuff. Like if I have children, then I go there to the market. Then I'll find a shoe. I'll buy for my kids. I'll even buy for you. Or even take care of my needs. There are those needs that you don't need your partner to keep on telling your partner to help your money to do. But if they have deprived you of earning your own money, then it becomes a very big issue.
True.
Yeah. So another thing is, there are those people who go through GBV and resort to self-harm. They feel that maybe they're not worthy. They feel like, I better maybe it's better if I'm not in this world. So you can find people harming themselves because of going through GBV. Yeah.
And also there are trust issues. Maybe in cases of sexual abuse, you might find it hard to trust that gender again, or to trust even people are assaulted or they're abused by maybe family or even people who are close to you. You might find it hard even to trust your circle again, your relatives again. So whenever you are around someone, there's that fear and that tension.
Yes.
So it brings about trust issues a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
So if it is a lady who went through the same fears, the opposite gender, and if it is a child who is a boy child or a man who went through, because personally I've ever heard of, there's a school where the gate man was raped by the girls.
Yeah, I heard of that.
You see, so even that person can undergo the same, or vice versa. If it is maybe a girl who's been, or somebody of the female gender who's been raped or maybe defiled or even sodomized, it's a two-way thing. So it applies in both genders. So it's not only women. So another thing is, in extreme cases, gender-based violence can lead to death. We've ever heard of, those people who die because maybe they lived with somebody who kept on beating them, and at this point one day they just woke up and beat them to death. There are those cases, or just somebody, they've been harassing you and you're still there, and then one day they just, poison you to death. Maybe the whole family, or they hack you to death. There are those extreme cases. We've had them on televisions and everywhere. So GBV can also lead to untimely death. Yes.
And also, I think so this also falls on death because the suicidal thoughts or suicidal attempts, because maybe you're being harassed and you feel like the only place I can have peace is when I'm dead. I think also, I don't know if it was last year or the other year before, there was a girl who was beaten up by another girl in school. And this girl was, she was body shaming her. And this girl, the way, these days people don't help you out of fights. They first of all film, and when they see that the fight is getting out of hand,
then they start
once back, and now they start helping you. So the fight was filmed, and the fight was posted. It went viral all the way from South Africa to all corners of the world. It went viral, and the girl, I think so. Within 2 days, she had already killed herself. And she wrote on the letter and she said, I thought I was beautiful, but this girl kept on saying that I'm not. And so I think so the best place I can be is dead. Yeah. And such things, it's very hurtful, to even to lose your child, and even to know that someone killed themselves because of you. It's very bad. So it really triggers a lot of suicidal thoughts, even if it is not thoughts at times. And
also, I think, as you've said, maybe also it can bring about some mental health issues. GBV itself. Yeah. So the way you said, like you can come maybe like anxiety, stress, and is it post-traumatic something because of the trauma that you've gone through. So it can also lead to mental issues. That is what I think. And also it can lead to unplanned pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies, and also disease. You see, so for maybe if it's a young male and they've been sodomized, you don't know like the status of the perpetrator. You see, so if the perpetrator was infected and maybe the victim did not go to a hospital so that they can be given medication to prevent them from maybe contracting STIs, including HIV, then they can be at risk of getting either HIV or STIs from the perpetrator. And for young girls, they can become pregnant. And then this girl, if they become pregnant, others resort to even dropping out of school. You see, so it is very good if, as I said, there's an earlier video we did. If you've not checked it out, kindly do. We said that if you go through like sexual abuse, like rape, or somebody just like forced you to have sex, it's good for you to go to the hospital within 72 hours so that you'll be given medication if you are a girl to prevent you from HIV and STIs including HIV, and also to prevent pregnancy. So it works best within the 72 hours. And if it is male, then it will prevent you from getting STIs. Yeah. So I think, Vicky, we've exhausted quite so much, but it's not like we've exhausted everything. But at this point, I think what we've given, the points that you've given to you, they will help you or even help somebody else. Now, I want us to look at where can somebody find help, just in case they find themselves in gender-based violence.
You can report to the authorities.
Yes.
That is maybe the police. In cases of, in any case of GBV.
Yeah.
I think so you can go and report. So I think so the first maybe place you can
Police station.
You can go is a police station.
Yeah, at least nowadays the police stations have gender desks. So you can go like if you have any issue, you can go report to them, and then they handle it from there. So and another place you can go if, for example, there are those violences that occur in their home setup, you can also go to your area chief. Also the chief can help you and direct you. So from there, where can you go? If they can intervene, the chief can intervene, and if he cannot, then he will help you know like which step to take next. Yes.
There are also NGOs which deal with such cases. Consulting them, which in today's world they are based in various communities. And so consulting them. And going to report. I think so they always know how to handle such cases.
Yes.
So going to such NGOs which are based on such cases or related ones can really be helpful.
Yeah, even human rights organizations, you can go to human rights organization. They still do the same. They deal with the same. So because this one is a human rights issue. So when you go to those organizations that deal with human rights, they will also help you out. And also family and friends. You can turn out to your family and friends. They are the first support system. And if they can help you, they can. If they can't, then you go to the next level. The family setup can help you in this case. Maybe it's a child who is being physically assaulted by the parents, or it is an uncle, who is touching a child inappropriately. First, you tackle it from there. Then if the family setup is not able to tackle such an issue, then we progress to the next level. Yeah. So thank you very much for being with us until this point. We want to thank each and everyone for being with us. So if it is your first time here, kindly make sure that you subscribe to our channel and put on that notification bell so that each and every time we put up an informative video like the one we have, you will be amongst the first people to be notified. And for those who subscribe, thank you very much. Thank you for always consuming our content, and continue watching us and also sharing so that this information can reach to a wide range of people. So until the next one, adios.